Hello and welcome. Today we will talk about sustainability, more specifically the way forward and why we need to be sustainable in everything we do in our organizations. Remember that sustainable development is meeting the needs of the present without compromising the ability of future generations to meet their own needs. That's a very good definition from the United Nations for all of us to remember and apply into our organizations. Sustainability is the ability of a company or a firm to effectively and efficiently manage their core economic responsibilities while also proactively respecting the environment and being accountable to their stakeholders in a transparent manner. So what is the way forward? What can individuals, managers, and corporations do to create sustainable operations? The way forward is that we all need to take responsibility. By acting locally or even egoistically in their own best interest, each country and nation can contribute significantly to the solution of a global challenge. We need to act locally in order to solve global challenges in a collective way. The way forward is that we need to educate students, consumers in the workforce on the necessity and benefits of sustainability and why it's important not just to our own future, but the future of our children and grandchildren and the centuries to come. We need to focus on efficiency. Sustainable decision-making requires that all professionals focus on having an efficient process that eliminates any waste in the production process. Scientific management principles have been around for over the past century at least, since Frederick W. Taylor came up with his 4 principles. So those principles of scientific management might be very helpful to design the best system by number 1, studying the way the existing job is done. Number 2, creating the most efficient way of getting it done with the least resources in the least amount of waste. Number 3, by operationalizing the new method in teaching it to everybody else, making it easy for them to learn it and adapt it into their best practices or day-to-day jobs. And number 4, by sharing the rewards of additional performance with everyone. Now, Frederick Taylor suggested that over 100 years ago about scientific management. Should we not do this today? We should. Today we have much more resources to obviously study every business and operation and make it more sustainable for all stakeholders. Once an efficient system is operational, one must think of at least 2 important factors involved in the sustainability of the operation: environmental responsibility as well as social responsibility. Think about some of the companies that have been discussed in literature in terms of their environmental responsibility and social responsibility as a means of becoming more of a sustainable operation. So some of these companies that you see on the slide, for example, Whole Foods, Audi, Hilton, Toyota, Chipotle, Tesla, all of them are companies that are considered to be environmentally responsible. And then others who are cited often as socially responsible as a means of achieving operational sustainability. Could be Google, Costco, United Way, Target, McDonald's, and many others like Publix locally here in southeast of the United States, and others obviously throughout the US and abroad that are considered to be socially and or environmentally responsible organizations. Regarding environmental responsibility, elements of having a sustainable operation, many firms are involved in recycling, waste management, emission control, carpooling, keeping their environment green and clean, and paperless billing type activities. The comprehensive sustainable leadership model demonstrates the complex and interdependent relationship among the core values linked to sustainability. The model illustrates how adherence to legal, ethical, and social and environmental values culminates in successful and sustainable leadership of the business in the organization in every locality where we operate. So here is the sustainable leadership model, where you have environmental responsibility as well as social responsibility as means of achieving operational sustainability. But obviously, foundation to those are the values of legality or law, in the values of morality and ethics, in economic value creation. In other words, creating a corporation that fills a need for a group of people or serves a purpose other than making money. Money should not be the purpose of a corporation, but the corporation should be created to serve a specific need or purpose for a group of people or a group of individuals or for the society in general. And if you do that job well, money will be a corollary of it. It'll come as a result of doing a good, effective, and efficient job in serving that constituency group. So at the foundation of sustainable leadership are the building blocks of having a sound economic model for your business, acting legally based on relevant laws and expectations, and being ethical and socially responsible in all operations of the organization. Sustainable leadership is an end in itself, and it can be best achieved as a means of operational sustainability by being socially and environmentally responsible in business. Keep in mind to reuse, reduce, recycle, renew, and respect the environment. All sustainable operations are likely to be adhering to these suggestions of reusing, reducing, recycling, renewing, and respecting the environment. Here's an example of a landfill in Gainesville, Florida. So for example, when our oven was not working, we got a new one. My father suggested we should take it to the recycle landfill in Gainesville. So we drove about 6 or 7 miles just to drop this specific microwave oven into the recycling area. It's not a good idea to put this obviously into the trash because there might be poisonous material inside of this, and we don't want that to get into the wrong hands or into the water in any land. So therefore, recycling it basically means some of this can be used for development of future products, and also the hazardous material can be taken care of in a responsible way. There are also sustainability examples all over the globe. Think about this example in Bangkok. So here is one employee who basically collected these staples. Instead of throwing them out in the trash, she collected all these staples just to recycle it. Now that's over a few months worth of staples. Imagine how many staples you would have in a matter of year, 2 year, 10 year, and 20 year. That's just one little office. Now imagine if you multiply this throughout the organization, every single office for recycling as opposed to getting rid of it. So how much would you have in 1 year? How much would you have in 2 years, 10 years? And also throughout organization. Think about 7-Eleven. When you go to 7-Eleven, you buy your product. How can they be more sustainable? See, they're actually reducing the customer receipts. That's not bad. So all my receipts are basically printed in a very small piece of paper, which means I'm not killing as many trees. So that's a very good example of how companies can operationalize sustainability efforts every single day. So reducing paper in receipts for customers. 7-Eleven reduced receipt slip to 1 centimeter. Compare with other receipts. So now compare 7-Eleven's short receipt with perhaps other organizations' receipts, which waste a little bit more paper. The Nike Corporation is reusing shoes, for example. Here are 2 playground examples for kids, which are made from the soles of shoes. So we can reuse some material for good causes to make this world a little bit better without having to use additional resources. Again, remember the Cree Indian proverb, only when the last tree has died, in the last river been poisoned, in the last fish been caught, will we realize we cannot eat money. We need to be sustainable in all of our operations and everything we do. Socially and environmentally responsible operations could include organizations like Hilton Hotels, for example. Hilton has had several projects to reduce the carbon footprints in their chains throughout the world. One example of sustainability is actually Hilton Hotels' use of hurricane-resistant windmills, even on the top of the roof of their hotel in Fort Lauderdale, Florida. So you see this one in Fort Lauderdale, Florida, which produces energy as well as a lot of good publicity for the Hilton chain. So I've had discussion actually with their managers in how they started this idea of being socially responsible to the community and being sustainable. And they knew that this was going to cost them millions of dollars, and it would take about 10 years for them to break even in terms of their initial investment. But they knew that this was the socially responsible thing to do, make the environment a little bit better, a little bit safer by using hurricane-resistant windmills right on top of their building. So companies like Hilton, Walgreens, Apple, and even IKEA are often cited as positive examples of companies that use solar power. Walgreens donates vaccinations for children who cannot afford it nationally, internationally, beyond our borders. So these companies are taking social responsibility outside of the national boundaries of their headquarters. Like the Walmart Corporation, you need to put someone in charge of it. It doesn't happen by itself. It is recommended that this key person should be in a high-level, visible, and empowered position, such as a vice president of social responsibility and or sustainability. Walmart, which employs over 3 million people worldwide, has a position designated as the vice president of global corporate social responsibility. So it's good to see that large corporations are taking charge by having specific individuals and departments be responsible for these ethical initiatives in their organizations and in the communities where they're operating. Overall, remember to operationalize the 5 R's in every part of your work. Reduce, reuse, recycle, renew, and respect the environment in the communities where you operate. Good luck. Good luck. Remember that ethical behavior is a skill. You need to evaluate and improve your ethical muscles in fitness every single day. Good luck.